escalating geopolitical tensions, the U.S. Navy sends a clear message by navigating through the contested waters of the Taiwan Strait. Join us as we dissect the implications of this strategic maneuver in the broader context of the South China Sea dispute. In recent years, the South China Sea has emerged as a focal point of contention, with overlapping territorial claims and competing geopolitical interests. Amidst this backdrop, the United States has consistently advocated for freedom of navigation, challenging China's expansive claims in the region. The Taiwan Strait, a narrow waterway separating Taiwan and mainland China, has become a symbol of sovereignty and strategic importance. For the U.S. Navy, passage through these waters asserts its commitment to international law and regional stability. Tensions between the U.S. and China have intensified in recent years, with both nations engaging in military exercises and maritime patrols. The passage of a U.S. Navy destroyer through the Taiwan Strait is a calculated move, signaling resolve amidst a complex geopolitical landscape. The U.S. Navy's transit through the Taiwan Strait underscores its commitment to upholding freedom of navigation in international waters. This sends a clear message to Beijing regarding the importance of respecting established norms and regulations. China's military criticized a U.S. destroyer's passage through the Taiwan Strait less than 2 weeks before the island's new president takes office, and while Washington and Beijing are making uneven efforts to restore regular military exchanges. Navy Senior Captain Li Xi, spokesperson for China's Eastern Theater Command, accused the U.S. of having publicly hyped the passage of the USS Halsey on Wednesday. In a statement, Li said the command, which oversees operations around the strait, organized naval and air forces to monitor the ship's transit. The U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet said the Halsey conducted a routine Taiwan Strait transit on May 8 through waters where high seas freedoms of navigation and overflight apply in accordance with international law. The guided missile destroyer transited through a corridor in the strait that is beyond the territorial sea of any coastal state, the fleet said in a statement. Halsey's transit through the Taiwan Strait demonstrates the United States' commitment to upholding freedom of navigation for all nations as a principle. It said, "No member of the international community should be intimidated or coerced into giving up their rights and freedoms." The United States military flies, sails, and operates anywhere international law allows. China's accusation that the transit was publicly hyped, essentially meaning it was played up for maximum political effect, has been standard practice when Beijing sees the announcements as a means of pushing back against China's claim to some degree of control over who can pass freely through the strait. There was no indication the U.S. Navy had operated any differently in the latest case, nor that the Chinese response was any more vociferous. Taiwan's defense ministry said it was fully aware of the destroyer's passage. Throughout the transit, the Taiwanese military was closely monitoring the surrounding sea and airspace, and the situation remained normal, the ministry said. The last such passage was on April 17, a day after U.S. and Chinese defense chiefs held their first talks since November 2022 in an effort to reduce regional tensions. Military-to-military contact stalled in August 2022, when Beijing suspended all such communication after then-House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan. China responded by firing missiles over Taiwan and staging a surge in military maneuvers, including what appeared to be a rehearsal of a naval and aerial blockade of the island. Although the heavily transited Taiwan Strait is international waters and vital to global trade, China considers the passage of warships from the U.S., Britain, and other nations as a challenge to its sovereignty. China sends Navy ships and warplanes into the strait and other areas around the island, almost daily to wear down Taiwan's defenses and seek to intimidate its 23 million people who firmly back their de facto independence. Taiwan's defense ministry said 23 Chinese military aircraft and 8 naval ships were detected operating around Taiwan in the 24 hours up to 6 a.m. Thursday. 8 of the planes crossed the median line in the strait and entered Taiwan's air defense identification zone, prompting Taiwan to scramble jets and put coastal missile batteries and naval craft on alert. In addition to sailing through the Taiwan Strait, the U.S. Navy conducts what it calls freedom of navigation operations, in which it sails and flies in close proximity to Chinese-held features in the South China Sea, many of them human-made islands that have been militarized over the years with airstrips, radar stations, and other capabilities. China views the Taiwan Strait as a sensitive issue, given its historical significance and implications for cross-strait relations. The passage of U.S. naval vessels through these waters challenges China's territorial claims and asserts the rights of other regional stakeholders. The maneuver has elicited mixed reactions from regional players, with Taiwan expressing appreciation for the U.S. commitment to security cooperation. Meanwhile, China has condemned the passage as provocative and urged the U.S. to respect its sovereignty. As tensions continue to simmer in the South China Sea, the passage of a U.S. Navy destroyer through the Taiwan Strait serves as a reminder of the delicate balance of power in the region. The implications of this strategic maneuver extend far beyond the waters of the Taiwan Strait, shaping the future of geopolitics in the Indo-Pacific. As the U.S. Navy reaffirms its presence in the Taiwan Strait, the world watches with bated breath, anticipating the next move in this high-stakes geopolitical chess game. Stay tuned for more updates on the evolving dynamics of the South China Sea dispute.